Coming up today on this week's episode, PlayStation Vita overtakes the 2011 Tokyo Game Show, Sony pursues Apple's business model, power-hungry PC exclusive now headed to PS3 and Xbox 360, and much, much more. This is Nick's Game Review. Hello everybody, sorry for not having a show last week. I was working on some business stuff. I have a huge deal in the works, guys. I cannot wait for you guys to hear about it, so stay tuned to that. But I am back once again with Nick's Game Review. Like I said, I'm going to produce the show every Saturday unless something like what happened this past Saturday comes up. So I do apologize for that, but I'm back. Now, Sony forgets about the PS3 and talks all about PlayStation Vita during the 2011 Tokyo Game Show. Set to launch December 17th of this year in Japan, the PlayStation Vita will have over 24 launch titles, including Uncharted Golden Abyss, Ridge Racer, and Katamari Damacy, just to name a few. To add more to PlayStation Vita's offering, Sony showed off its ability to play your PS3 titles via the Remote Play feature. Similar to how the PSP is able to remote play PS1 titles on the PS3, beginning with the Vita, owners of both the Vita and the PlayStation 3 can expect to play full-fledged PS3 titles on the go. With a solid launch of titles and features, combined with an attractive introductory price, the PlayStation Vita should have no problem getting off to a solid start. At least that's what I hope. According to a recent press release published by Sony in regards to the PlayStation Vita, battery life and the price of memory cards may pose an issue. With the battery advertised to last 3 to 5 hours of gaming and the 32GB memory card set at a price which is almost half of that of the Vita itself, I'm curious to see if these factors have any impact on the success of Sony's upcoming handheld. Now don't get me wrong, I'm still buying it day one. I'm super psyched. But when they said the battery's 3 to 5 hours, now for most people that may be fine. But if you're taking long flights, you do a lot of business travels, you take the train, 3 to 5 hours may not be long enough. Sony is offering an extended battery which is said to last 9 to 15 hours. So for those who need those demands, Sony's going to have a solution for you. Memory cards, 32GB is going to cost about $125. It's pretty expensive, half of the Vita price. We'll have to see what happens there, but I'll definitely keep you guys tuned in when I hear anything. PlayStation Vita owned 2011 Tokyo Game Show, and you're a fan of Final Fantasy X, that's coming to PlayStation Vita as well, remastered in full high definition on the PlayStation Vita. So definitely be sure to check that out. Now, Sony is pursuing the business model of Apple. Notorious for integrating services within a central platform enabling convenience for customers, Apple's successful business model has been adopted by Sony with the new Sony Entertainment Network. Straight from Sony's press release, Sony's Entertainment Network will establish a, quote, comprehensive and global network platform which offers access to entertainment, commerce, and community all from one convenient account. Here you can play your favorite music, movies, games, and more on your PlayStation systems and across a variety of connected devices, Sony and non-Sony, end quote. Because of this, users of the PlayStation Network are required to accept the new terms of service, stating that you must waive all rights to participate in new class action lawsuits against Sony and agree to resolve such matters on an individual basis. So I think this is pretty interesting, definitely a great move by Sony. I wouldn't expect any huge changes yet, but it's definitely a move in the right direction. Sony and non-Sony products. What that means, who knows? But remember the whole PlayStation approved class they now have for Android phones? Don't be surprised if that has some role involved with what's going on. So definitely stay tuned. Now, the once exclusive power-hungry PC exclusive is now headed to consoles. Despite the launch of Crysis 2 on consoles earlier this year in March, it seems as if Crytek and Electronic Arts are aching to provide console gamers the full experience with the release of the original Crysis on PS3 and Xbox 360 this October for the price of $19.99 on PSN and 1,600 Microsoft points, which equates to $20 on Xbox Live. Electronic Arts has promised that with the release of the console version, Crysis will bring new lighting, effects, and other visual optimizations since its release on PC. It will also support full stereoscopic 3D. So I am pretty excited for this. I never got around to playing Crysis 2. I definitely will have to when I have the time. I've heard some pretty good feedback related to that game. But to see Electronic Arts and Crytek bring back the original Crysis to the consoles, the game that pretty much devoured everyone's PC, very excited, especially for the price of 20 bucks. You cannot go wrong. And then visual optimizations, I'm very curious to see exactly what they mean, because I don't think it's going to be able to reach the ultra high setting on PCs. Maybe they're talking about against the average PC setting. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But 20 bucks next month, I will be downloading it. You should too if you have a PS3 and Xbox 360. Well, that concludes Nick's Game Review episode number 52. I want to thank you all so much for your support. If you want to contact me, you can email me at admin@thegameraccess.com. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/thegameraccess, and be sure to visit thegameraccess.com. I just recruited a new staff member. You'll hear more about him or her in the near future, so stay tuned. Welcome him or her. Going to bring some good content to the site. Have a lot of stuff in the works. Once again, I apologize for not having a show last week. It's just that when I say I have something in the works, I mean it. Hopefully in the next month or so, I'm able to speak on it. I'm kind of restricted right now, but once I speak on it, you guys are going to be like, wow, it's going to be amazing. It's all thanks to your guys' support. That concludes the show, guys. Check back next Saturday for a show, unless something happens randomly. I don't think so, but you never know in this business. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Check me out next week. Peace.
Access granted.